Hey guys, happy Friday. It's layout update time. Yes, I know. I said we were going to be running, trains, but hey, we're going to keep working on our little mountains over here, our little cakes here that I've made over here. So I want to kind of get this thing finished up before we start running any more trains, and I'm in the mood to get this stuff done. So we're just going to continue on here, and I'll show you what I do. So what I've got here is just a mixture of dirt from my garden that I've sifted through, a screen, and a little bit of the same, you can see these are all dry, a little bit of the same, grout that this stuff is made out of. That kind of lightens it up because if you wet dirt, which is what we're going to do here, it tends to sort of darken down a little bit. So I put a little bit of that grout mix in there. Anyway, next up over here, I got some things of glue here. So I got full strength, white glue, and a little bit of watered down white glue there, just in case we need to water it down. I got a new pair of cheap, brushes for a couple cents there. We're gonna cover the whole hill with full strength glue and then cover it with the dirt. This should be kind of interesting. So let's just cover this up. Now you might say, so why did you do this with all the plaster or, the grout and stuff like that? Well, let me get this all over here. Well, the whole thing is I want something solid over here, a little bit solid, which is why I use the grout, right? Other people have done, different things, different methods, and come up with decent ideas. I think Jason over the Train Freak, he was saying he uses the, screen mesh kind of thing. Somebody asked why I did this method instead of some other one. Well, this is what I had on hand. I had some plaster cloth. I had a bunch of, paper stuff. And so that's just what I was using now. The method for using the screen, I guess, is good if you're doing a big area. You're doing a whole big giant area with cliffs and mountains and stuff like that. But little tiny hills like this, you just need to make a glob. You just need to make something that's bumped up like this, just a little bit. So I would think that actually using like a screen mesh over this, you could, I guess, but it's a little overkill, I guess, because you don't really need that much support. You can see this stuff is nice and hard, and all it is the equivalent of your grocery paper bag type of deal, with a little bit of grout spread over the top of what is it? The plaster cloth, right? All right, I think without getting it all over the ballast, but we're going to come back and do the edges and stuff like that. Matter of fact, which one? That's the watered down one. I think I'm just going to get a little bit more over here. We'll do all of this right here. Now, some people may think that it's a lot of glue, and that costs a lot. But if you go over to, Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever, you can get a big giant jug of it. Don't get your little tiny bottle of glue or whatever from Woodland Scenics, because that stuff's a ripoff. You can get a giant 1 gallon bottle of white glue for pretty much the same cost. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, stick my brush. Well, no, we still got to do the other hill over here. So let's just keep on going. Get this one here. I was going to put it in some water to keep it wet, but instead I'll come over here and do this hill. We'll get them both done at the same time. And that's why I have these little dispensers here of one type or another, because I just have a big giant jug of white glue. All right. All right, we'll keep on going here. Get all of this covered up. so it doesn't look like a, well, like a giant cake, an ugly looking cake. One of the things I was going to mention was one of the methods that I sort of came up here. Well, I should say I kind of came up with it, and then I sort of refined it after watching one of the armor modelers. And if you're an armor modeler, you should probably know about Night Shift. If you haven't seen Night Shift's videos or look at his channel, yeah, Night Shift, just like the the old time show kind of thing. Take a look. He's an armor modeler from, I think, Czechoslovakia. I might be wrong, someplace around there. And he I don't know, in the last year or so, he started getting into dioramas and stuff. And so dioramas is basically, a little tiny section of, ground cover and shrubs and things like that. And so he had this, kind of came up with pretty much the same method that I'm doing here, which, although he gets into very minute details there, but go check out his channel on YouTube, Night Shift. And you might actually get into armor modeling there. But like I said, he's got a bunch of videos on doing dioramas in the last year or so, and get every little bit over there. Don't be shy with this stuff, because we're just going to vacuum it up. So you can cover everything up here. I'm putting a whole bunch here. All right, there we go. You don't have to worry about getting it all over the rails and stuff, because this is only going to stick where we put down the glue. Let's see, how's that looking? Pretty good, huh? And let me give you a little bit of a closer view here. Now I know we said we were going to do like kind of cliff things here, but here, let me zoom this out. We're still going to do little cliffs here or whatever. We'll see how this looks after after it all dries. Here, let me put that down so I'm not shaking you around too much. Get the back side here. All right, good enough right there. Now what I'm going to do is grab another brush. Should have brought it over beforehand. Where we go? Just another cheap brush here where I can kind of get this stuff into all the little crevices here. Don't really care too much about the back side right there, but here we go. Of course, you don't see any of that. Let me put that back up here. Just kind of getting in here. And what we're going to do here is actually do a couple of passes. So this is the first pass. Let me get some up there. Because sometimes the glue doesn't stick. All right, good enough. There we go, yeah. I got a little bit of glue on the brush right there. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put these two in some water, clean them all up. And then we'll come back here after this has had just a few minutes, because this stuff dries pretty quick, or at least, sticks pretty quick. We're going to come back with the shop vac and vacuum it all up and see what it looks like. All right, I got my brushes soaking over there. I got the shop vac out over here. Let's give it a little vacuum up and see what it looks like. Now, again, I'm not saving any of this because it's just dirt, so I'm not putting a little sock on the end of my shop vac here or anything. I don't really need to save it. It's just dirt, All right, here I go. All right, there we go. So that's what it looks like after the first pass. And you can see, you know, we didn't get every little bit. Sometimes the glue kind of dried up here and there before we got this to, you know, kind of completely settle in. So what I'm going to do is probably take a little bit more glue, touch all these little spots up and everything, give it a second coat, and then do the dirt again. So I'm not going to bother you with, you know, bother to show you that, because that's basically what I'm going to do, what I just showed you. Do another coat of this dirt right here. Okay, I got the one in the back down over here. This one over here, I used a little bit of the thinned out glue. I'll put the camera there so you can see this, because it kind of started to get, you know, when I was using the brush and kind of tapping on it, it started to get really, you know, the brush started to kind of pick things up. Some of the glue and the already first layer of dirt right there. So I needed to kind of water it down a little bit. So, and that's why I had that there. This one actually, I think maybe I just put a thicker layer of full strength on it at the time. At the first, you know, round there. And so it tended to not have so many bare spots. But, you know, we don't have to worry about too much about the bare spots, because in reality, we're going to cover this whole thing up. Well, not cover it completely, but, you know, we're going to put static grass, we're going to put, you know, shrubberies, we're going to do all sorts of stuff on top of it. And so it, having a few things, you know, poke out here and there, you can kind of, the lighter color there, or even the darker color, because like these little wet spots right here, they might be a little bit darker. That's okay. But yeah, I'm just using up all the rest of my dirt here. And this, unfortunately, is I think going to have to kind of wait, because I thinned it down. It's going to have to dry a little bit longer, so we're not going to see the end result in this video here. Now what I'm going to do is leave that, give it a good hour or so like that, let it get you know, good and solidified before I come back with the second pass. But you can see it's starting to already fit in a little bit more in the area right here, and it's not looking like two giant things of frosting, right? So once we get some shrubberies and things like that on there, it'll look real nice. The other thing I wanted to talk about is, well, ground cover. And actually one of the other guys, and forgive me, I don't remember which one it was, he was talking about making ground cover over here. And look at, I've been experimenting here. So what I did was I got just a cheap coffee grinder, $15 from Amazon, and got a bunch of wood chips here, or you know, I should say wood chips. It's you know, sawdust, and you know, I guess if you have sawdust, you can use it. I just bought a bag of, you know, whatever, this sawdust right here. They use this for you know, hickory for smokers and stuff like that, but very cheap. I don't think I'm ever going to use all that. And what I've been doing is taking that, sticking it in to here, the coffee grinder, you know, grinding it all up, and then sifting it. I know I'm making a big mess over here, but you know, basically sifting out the smaller parts. And what I've ended up with then is I take some acrylic paint, mix it with a little bit of water and acrylic paint, and this was a couple of test batches I did, and so I did my own ground cover here. Take a closer look over here. This is the first one I did, and you can see it's very bright green, but that's what it looks like. Not bad, right? For I don't know, just make as much as I want of it. So what I did was I took the wet mixture, which you end up with a wet mixture of the regular, you know, sifted sawdust, put some acrylic paint in it, just straight paint. You know, if I come over here, we can take a look at my old paint thing here. I think it was, I can't remember. Oh, I think it was this one. I think that's the green I used. Permanent green light, which was a little bit, you know, kind of greenish like that. The second batch is this one here. I used that kind of color. It's sort of more a little bit of an olive drab. It's called Hooker's Green. It's kind of olive drabby. And that, I think, fits in a little bit more natural looking. I made a small batch of that. And we're going to use that on the layout. I don't know if I'm going to use any of this. It's just a little bit too bright. Maybe I'll try dyeing it again. But yeah, so mix that all up into a slurry. I put it into, well, this one here, the first time I did it on aluminum foil. Don't do that because then it ends up kind of sticking to it, you know, letting it dry. I used some wax paper, spread it out on wax paper, and then I actually put it in the oven to dry, you know, like 200 degrees for, you know, 20 minutes or something like that. And there we go. We came up with our own little ground cover here. As a matter of fact, we can kind of play around a little bit since, you know, I don't care. We're gonna be making tons of this, but you know, we're gonna put. I'm just gonna put a little bit up here, just to see what the coloring looks like here. I'm just gonna dump a little bit right there. There you go, and you can see our little hills are gonna be looking pretty nice right there. So yeah, having fun. And then I got a few little shrubbery things here. I've got a couple other. You can see this. I'm gonna cut little pieces of this. Get that all out there. We've got some palm trees here. I still got to work on and everything. Those will get stuck in here. And I've got a couple reference photos for these two little hills, I should say, that I've been looking at in the general area there. And so I'm gonna kind of go off of what they look like, the coloring and everything like that. Boy, I don't know how long this video's been, but yeah, let's go get a sip of coffee and let's find Benjamin. Somebody was asking about Benjamin. We haven't seen Benjamin in a little while. I'm running around my my garage here. Let's see if Benjamin is hanging out right there. There you are. Hi, Ben. You hanging out over here? He's watching the people walk by over there. Hey, Ben. What do you want to do today? You want to play in the garage with trains? Or do you want to go to the park or something? I think he's like, I'm going to the park. Huh? All right, guys. Well, anyway, sorry for swinging you around here, but yeah, I know. I said I was going to run my little Santa Fe units, but I got kind of motivated to get these two little hills here done. And hopefully we'll have this all done up very soon, and we can kind of move on to some more scenery stuff over here. I told you it's getting nice and cool down here in Southern California, although we're heating up again for next week. But anyway, so we're going to be able to stay out here in the garage nice and early morning like that is now, and start doing a little bit of scenery over here. And I promise, maybe next time we will be running these two guys, because a couple of videos back, I said one of the local railfan guys, he was giving me ideas, and actually he caught a couple old Santa Fe units running, you know, for patched BNSF, doing some switching over there. I think he was in Vernon, California. That's LA area, if you guys don't know. And yes, that's what gave me the idea to run those two. Anyway, I'm making this video long. Everybody have a good weekend, and run some trains, play on your layout, do all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.